results in a 4th down.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Here we go.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Express.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
93. Hey, exit. Check 93's the mic. 93's the mic. 6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. White Monday.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Go team. Switch.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got his man, it's Williams. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Down. 180. Defense wins championships, baby. 29.
Here's Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Watch the safety creep. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And that'll set them back 5.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal.
X3. 218. Chop.
They'll run with Jacobs. Make that now 3 straight 2-yard gains. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, Alpha.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. These two franchises, very rich histories. This game, of course, part of the NFL 100 series. But the meeting that really sticks out from way back when is 1968 Super Bowl II, which at the time was known as the AFL-NFL World Championship game. But Bart Starr was the MVP of that game. He went against Darryl LaMonica, the Mad Bomber, the quarterback for the Raiders. Packers would get the victory just like they did the year before in the first ever Super Bowl over the Chiefs. And Bart Starr was also the MVP of that game as well.
Notice 50. Hey, you block over here.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check.
Here's Irvin, and an alley to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. Tyler Irvin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's got this complete to Marcel Aitman. A pickup of 24, and that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Carr. Throwing right, and that's complete. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now Carr again. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, Echo.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to sling this, and this will be caught at the 30. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter.
We got this.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
637. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Bring it.
On second down now, it's Jacobs. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Now Carr. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A big run there by Jones. 47 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers. Tyler Irvin with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Raider 2. Express. 50. Mike 50. I got it.
Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught at the 10. A big play that time for the Raiders, and even 60 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a give to Jacobs running right, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. This is Jones. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
50. Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, Foxtrot. Let's go, D, tighten up.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
He's got to hook up to Lazard. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Over here. Six guy. Check 6 guy.
On first down, it's Jones. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run with Irvin. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You're not ready. Slam. Live. Check 24. Check 24. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Look at you.
They'll run on first down. Jones. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Mike. 319. You better bring.
On first down, Irvin. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, D.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. From 19 yards away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 63 yards on the ground. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with time. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
That good for 19 and a first down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yard.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Irvin. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Now it's Rodgers. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun to give to Jones. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
What now? 180. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Caught by Jones. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Double time. Even. 4 down. Even. 4 down. 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 4
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Green Bay, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.